Time to travel and cruise tips. In this video we cover the Huon Valley, which is located in Tasmania, Australia. After we arrived in Hobart, we hired a car and drove southeast 60 kilometres and arrived at the Kermandie Hotel in Port Huon. It is a heritage building built in 1932 right next to the Huon River. Port Huon was once a trading port and a destination for international apple boats which exported apples from this region. Nowadays, Port Huon is a hub for fishing and tourism. Our room at the Kermandie Hotel was very clean and comfortable. Even though the hotel is on the Huon Highway, we found it was very quiet. Our room also had a great view of the river overlooking the marina with local vessels tied up in their moorings. The staff were very friendly. During our stay, we had dinner at the Kermandie Bar. It has a very nice atmosphere and the food was good too, especially the polenta chips, which are well worth trying. You can also dine in the Kermandie restaurant and it's open breakfast, lunch and dinner. We didn't try it, but I've seen good reviews about it, particularly the breakfast there. I will provide a link to Kermandie Hotel's website below if you want to check it out yourself. Huon Valley. As you probably already know, Port Huon is part of the famous Huon Valley. The area was named by Frenchman Admiral Bruny after his second-in-command Huon de Kermandie when he explored the area. The apple growing industry in the Huon Valley began in 1840 with the first European settlers and became the area's main industry for over a century until the 1950s. Today, apples, pears, cherries and fish farming are the main Huon Valley produce. We saw many apple farms when driving around the area. It is so nice to sit on the banks of the picturesque Huon River, looking south towards Antarctica. The river is a real beauty, especially early in the morning when there is no wind. Come and admire the stunning mirror image of the nearby mountains, trees, fishing boats and the jetty on the water while being surrounded by wild flowers and the world's cleanest air. There are a few towns in the Huon Valley including Franklin, Geeveston, Huonville and Cygnet. For this trip we only scheduled 2 nights and 1 full day in this part of Tasmania, which included a trip to Bruny Island, so we only visited Geeveston. Geeveston is only a 3-minute drive from the Kermandie Hotel where we stayed. If you ever wondered where the name Geeveston is from, in 1839, Lady Jane Franklin purchased a large patch of land in the Huon Valley region from a man called John Price. She then began distributing parcels of land to the poor settlers. This is known as the settlement. The first settlers that were granted land arrived in the early 1840s. Among them was John William Jeeves, who originally settled in Franklin. In 1849, the Jeeves family took up the first 80 acres of land in Lightwood Bottom, as it was known then. The Jeeves family was the first to grow apples in the area, which led to the successful apple growing industry in the Huon Valley region. The town's name was then changed to Geevestown in 1861 in honour of the man who began its development. Geevestown then eventually became Geeveston. This makes me wonder, probably this is why the most southern blues club in Australia, or even the world, is called the Lightwood Bottom Blues Club, which is of course in Geeveston. Geeveston was historically a timber town. The southern forest fed sawmills and the Australian paper manufacture pulp employed almost 400 people from the town for nearly 100 years. However, the southern forest became protected and the timber industry in the town had no future. Now Geeveston is a tourism destination. There is an outstanding forest and heritage centre, now known as the Geeveston Visitor Centre. On the streets you can often see featured statues of local people carved out of timber. There are also interesting wood carving demonstrations for you to see and wood carving artwork for purchase in the Visitor Centre. We have come across this one-stop food and beverage shop takeaway in town. What a delightful spot. Delicious food and friendly staff. They serve up a big range of food from Turkish pie, galasami, kebabs to pizza, fish and chips. The food was so yummy that we ended up dining there twice during our short stay in the Huon Valley, so definitely stop by when you are visiting this part of Tasmania. Geeveston is the gateway to the Harts Mountains National Park. I certainly want to come back to explore the national park, visit Hastings Caves and the thermal springs, and visit the Tahuni Forest Airwalk. which I didn't have time to do on this trip. Now, did you know most of the scenes of the ABC television comedy series Rosehaven were filmed in Geeveston? Why not watch this video and find out more?